Welcome to your daily dose of astrological insight and inspiration for Saturday the 21st of September and Sunday the 22nd of September 2024. I'm intuitive evolutionary astrologer Crystal, the Crystalline Priestess, and without further ado, let's jump into the weekend's vibe. Alrighty, my love. So starting off on Saturday, we have the moon who's moved into beautiful Taurus, which she loves to be in. It would have been about early Australian morning when we would have been sound asleep, but now she's about 10 degrees at 10 a.m. So lovely. We love the moon when it's in Taurus, we really do. I mean, it is going to make a conjunction with Uranus tomorrow, but that is going to activate that trine that we already had with the sun, and now today it's actually Lilith who is coming into that perfect trine with Uranus, because the sun has moved to 28 degrees of Virgo exactly now in that opposition with Neptune, and Lilith has retrograded down to 27 degrees. So they've done their little swapsies. They've swapped places. Now, we also have Mercury, who is in an exact square with Jupiter today. Jupiter's really slowed down. Mercury's really started to speed up. So the thing is here, Mercury loves Gemini, but Jupiter doesn't love Virgo. So it's a little bit like Jupiter really doesn't like this, whereas Mercury's like, hell yeah, I like this. So it's a little bit of a weird day. It's a little bit of this day that's it's like we feel excited, we feel a little bit expansive, I think. It feels like there's like this giddiness, but it also feels as though there's this reality check at the same time where it's like, yeah, but at the same time, we can't be letting ourselves get too far ahead. I feel as though this is a day that is still coming off yesterday and really asking for us to be honest and integral with ourselves. And something I actually forgot to mention yesterday, so I'll bring it up for this weekend, is when it comes to partnerships and relationships, be careful of the choices that you are going to make. When the sun and when the sun and Lilith are together and they're in an opposition with Neptune, that to me, while at the same time we've had Venus in an opposition with Chiron all week, that to me screams careful in your relationships. And especially if you are just on the fence, you know, this is giving me the energy of just like being too friendly to other people, being too blasé about what it is that you're doing, the choices that you're making. You know, this is, and I spoke to it in Astro Tea Weekly, but this is the week where we might hear about big breakups and big things like that. People cheating on each other, you know? I think it was actually, oh, who was it? It was some famous guy the other day, but literally he just came out with the fact that he's had a kid with some other chick, and that other chick was like 18 years old or something. Like, just scandals, okay? Sex scandals basically is what I'm trying to get at. So today, this weekend, is not a weekend to be doing anything silly. If that is sort of something that's rolling around in the trajectory of possibilities, don't do it. That's just gonna be my advice. Don't do it. Nothing with Lilith is ever good. I had Lilith on my son 5 years ago, and I did something similar like that, and it was bad. It was naughty. It took me 5 years. It's taken me this long to like get rid of my guilt, like to get over that. So think about it from that perspective. Think about how things are actually going to affect you in the long term, especially because we have, you know, Neptune in Pisces. This is where the collective is at the most delusional that it kind of can be. It's not so much as bad as when it's at 29 degrees Pisces, but we're still dealing with a Pisces who's with a Neptune who's just reached the end of his sign, and then he's going backwards, and then he's going to come back. So we are still dealing with versions of ourselves that need to be a little bit more realistic with ourselves and realistic with our partners as well. But it also feels as though the energy that I'm sort of picking up on is this need to like solidify more structure within our relationships in order to create more freedom and fun and playfulness. And that sounds like a really like weird sort of message, but I'm kind of just feeling with the sun, like the sun is literally light, it's joy, it's radiance. The sun is supposed to be the soul, you know what I mean? And the sun is supposed to be where we look to find the biggest radiance and joy. That I think, along with, you know, Mars, can really sort of help with that, but it's a completely different feeling. It's not so much joy, it's more so like drive. So I feel as though with the sun being in this opposition with Neptune today, there is this like really beautiful energy, this really, really stunning, opportunity to receive guidance from God and to receive guidance from spirit and to feel really divinely connected. And in my opinion, play is actually one of the most divinely connected states that we can be in, and that's why I think Leo being the ruler of the 5th house, Leo being, you know, the sign that rules the sun, or the sun being the ruler of the sign Leo, is because the highest energy that we can actually be in is play. The highest energy that we can actually be in is that childlike joy. And you know, you see it. Think about it. Anytime that you've been out somewhere and, you know, maybe you're just witnessing a child's birthday at the beach and you just see the joy on those kids' faces, how much fun they are having, the high vibration, you know. Fun is one of the highest vibrations that we can experience. And so with the 2 of Swords in reverse and the 9 of Pentacles, it feels as though we've been really serious for a really long time. And I feel as though today is this day where it's like, well, this weekend is a weekend of, can we let go of some of the seriousness? Yes, things still need to get done. Yes, there are still things that we have to work through. Yes, there are annoying little day-to-day activities, day-to-day things that need to be dealt with. Yes, the washing machine is still broken. And yes, you're still hand washing clothes and it's a pain in the ass. But the repairman's coming in a week's time. Can you hold out? You know, it's basically this energy today of holding out because good stuff is on the way. It really truly is. We just need to understand that it's not going to happen overnight. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day is one of my favorite freaking quotes, because it really wasn't. Think about that city. Was it built in a day? Hell no. So the moon being in Taurus today, it even makes a really beautiful sextile over to Saturn. So let's use today as an opportunity to really grow into this level of security in knowing that being responsible and taking initiative for ourselves, for our emotions, for our joy, for our life is the strongest thing that we can do. It is the most powerful thing. We can take our joy into our own hands and not give it to somebody else, you know. Take your joy and make it real through actually deciding that this is how you are going to go about things. This is how you're going to, I don't want to say attack your reality, but that's kind of what I heard. With Virgo, I analyze coming out with Chiron healing. So we are very much in a process of healing our Virgo. We're in the process of healing our day-to-day life. It's our daily life that is the biggest thing at the moment. There's all this pile, like I'm literally seeing is like piles of washing, like just piles and piles and piles of stuff that is banked up on top of us. So much to do, so much to achieve, so much to clear out, so much to clean out. There is so much, and I feel like with this 11th house as well, it's about asking for help. It's about relying on other people, or not even so much relying on other people, but asking other people to help when they can. It's not about you having to do everything on your own. Jupiter in Gemini with a Mercury square. Can you ask for help from the people that are in your environment, from your siblings, from your parents, from your family, from your friends? You know, is there people in your town that, or even Facebook, you know, maybe reach out on Facebook and say, hey, is there anyone in my area that has XYZ? You know, it's about reaching out to the people around you and not feeling so isolated and not feeling so stuck, because that's what an opposition with Neptune is. Neptune is isolation. It's feeling lost and in the fog, and like I've spoken to before, it's a gas. You can't hold on to it. So Virgo being here is about trying to hold on to something, you know, and not trying. I feel as though our emotions have been the anchor for us for such a long time, and I feel as though this is the switch from allowing our emotions to be the anchor to now deciding that what we decide to be the anchor is the anchor. You know, we're not being dragged around now because our anchor is emotional. You know, our anchor, it changes with the tides. It changes with what's going on. An anchor has to be an anchor. It has to be made of steel. It has to be able to be dropped and to stick in its space no matter what. And that's very fixed energy, and we're in a lot of mutable energy. So of course it's difficult because we are in mutable when, you know, we've got such a strong connection between Uranus, who is connecting with the sun, and with Lilith, but it's also connecting with Capricorn Pluto and Capricorn. It's also connecting with Neptune. There's just this really strong sense of finding a level of stability within our own emotional landscape that we haven't been able to find before, because we have been, you know, we've been in this weird physical dichotomy for a long time, and it feels like this is the day where it's like, okay, well, I'm ready to really work through this. And we've been ready for a while. It's been happening for a while, but today's one of those days where we start to see the joy, I think, in the light, maybe at the end of the tunnel, if we begin to truly make these changes. That's what I think the Mercury square with Jupiter is. It's about changing our perception into something that allows more opportunity, and it allows expansion, you know, asking more people for help, asking for more guidance, asking for someone to do this. You know, it's not figuring it all out on your own all the time. So now let's jump into Sunday, my loves. Oh, okay, so Sunday, moon is still in Taurus, and it makes a conjunction with Uranus. So it's now we have the moon activating this really powerful ground trine between the sun, between Pluto, and between Uranus, at the same time as this connection that's going on between Neptune in Pisces at 28 degrees. So we can see a really strong kite, and I spoke to this already on Friday, I think it was, but we really have this this powerful moment of transformation and evolution. I feel like this week is just one of those massive weeks. Every day has brought us closer to some sort of energy that is asking for our attention, closer to something that is asking for us to see through the fog. And that's the thing with Neptune, it's very foggy. We have the Seven of Swords coming out in reverse. So I feel like this is the day, and I spoke to this already, but just being as honest as possible, not getting caught up in negative stuff. Be careful of toxic shit. Just be careful of all that sort of stuff when we have these connections with Lilith and the moon, and because, you know, the moon's going to be trining with Lilith, so we might be thinking, yeah, it's a good idea, it's an emotionally exciting idea, this is going to be a stable thing, you know, this is not going to blow up in my face. And the reality is that it is going to blow up in your face. So if you can be discerning today or on Sunday, this whole weekend, it really is crucial. Now, Venus moves to 28 degrees on Sunday, and it does start to square off with Pluto. So that's really heavy. We've already had so much Venus activation all week with the opposition to Chiron, and now she's moving into this square with Pluto. Pluto is so destructive in the sense that he will not let you continue doing the same old shit that keeps bringing up the same result. He is going to force you to change. And when it comes to Venus, we've already been talking a lot about our resources and our finances. This is a day, this weekend is going to test you. It's going to test you on your values. It's going to test you on the money. It's going to test you on all of these home little things. You know, Taurus, the moon is in Taurus conjunct Uranus. This is one of those days where we might find out that we have a big bill. We might find out where something is not looking as financially great as we thought it was. Maybe with, you know, this is a day where if your house is on the market, somebody puts in an offer, but it's for a lot less than you wanted it to be for. So this is just basically this energy of having to understand where we got to do the work. We got to do the work when it comes to evolving our values and not letting our values sort of like run the show. And when I say allowing our values to run the show, I mean that in a sense of emotionally identifying with things that aren't actually, or that we deem valuable, or that we deem worthy, you know, moon in Taurus conjunct Uranus, but actually are things that don't really provide any sorts of emotional stability, you know? And by that, I mean valuing alcohol when the reality is that alcohol always makes you have a mental breakdown. You know, every time you get too drunk with your friends, something negative happens, but you still keep doing it because you emotionally have this value where you think that it makes it more fun, or it makes you more confident, or it makes you a better speaker, or it makes you more funny. This is where a day where you see the truth, you see where that's getting in the way. And especially because we do have the moon that is going to move conjunct with Algol today. I don't have it on this picture, but you know, it's going to conjunct with the demon star Algol, who is at 26 degrees of Taurus, and we have had Uranus, who's been hanging around here since around May, I think, this year. So that's why I'm saying that it's really crucial that we don't get caught up in things over this weekend, drinking too much, especially with the sun's opposition with Neptune, drinking too much, getting on drugs and doing something crazy. Like getting on drugs and cheating on your partner is something that could happen under this sort of energy. I'm not saying that any of you guys are going to do that crazy shit, but this is the kind of weekend where you will hear about stuff like that happening, whether it's on the news or in people around you. It's a thing. This is just that vibe. So the Pluto square with Venus is really, really about not fucking up, especially as we come to the end of this 16-year transit of Pluto in mother effing Capricorn. This is the last time we will have Venus in a square with Pluto in Capricorn. So we need to understand where our relationship values and where our relationships in general have evolved to a certain point. It is now time for you to act that way. You know, I'm feeling like the biggest thing that is coming up is like, are you practicing what you preach? Are you acting the same way that you are saying that you are? We have Taurus I have with the 7th house of partners. So this is about valuing your partnerships above everything else. And when I say that, I'm not talking about everybody having to be, you know, in a relationship. I'm talking about your partnerships, your friendships, the people closest to you. Everybody has a relationship with something or someone. So, you know, what is that thing to you? At the same time, today we have that Venus in a yod. At 28 degrees of Libra, she is in a yod with Neptune at 28 degrees of Pisces and with Uranus at 27 degrees of Taurus. So guys, this is a huge weekend. This is I've talked about this so many times, and the funniest thing is this has been sitting at the bottom of the deck the whole reading and I keep ignoring it. We have Cancer, I feel, and then we have Yod, Destiny. And what have I said so many times over the past few weeks, because we've had a lot of Yod activity between Virgo and Pluto and Neptune. And so now we're having Yod between Neptune and Uranus. Yod is the finger of God. It is essentially when the universe is pointing towards something and saying, this is it. The universe is pointing towards Venus. Venus is squaring with Pluto. This is the part of our charts that are really asking for help at the moment. Our relationships. Big time. Our relationships are really yearning for attention. This is a weekend, and I've spoken to it already a lot, all throughout the week. This is the weekend where it's like, relationship stuff is going to be happening. This is the eclipse where relationship stuff is happening. Okay, so let's get some advice actually. I love that like this is all happening, but it all feels like really intense after just having like such a powerful eclipse. We have the Fool and we have the Ace of Wands. So 2 messages with this. Don't be doing anything foolish this weekend. Don't be getting like this, literally this card, it's reminding me of a dude's package, okay? So don't be like getting horny and deciding that you're going to go do something because that is foolish, and that is essentially going to, like I said, it's going to walk you off the front of that cliff. So don't be walking off no cliff. The other sort of energy of this is the fact that this is a brand new start. It's a brand new beginning, and it's not a day today to make big brash decisions and do things. That's why this Ace of Wands is in the reverse. This is the day to start. It's almost like a receiving, and the reason that it's in reverse feels like maybe, let's actually clarify that. I never really do this, but okay, we have 7 of Pentacles in reverse. I feel as though you've been waiting a long time. It feels as though this is pretty much this vibe of I'm over it. And especially when it comes to relationships, I feel as though we could be feeling this weekend where we're just sort of over things the way they've been. That's why I feel like this Fool, she's completely ready for a new start, but she has to understand with this 7 of Pentacles and Ace of Wands that excitement doesn't just stick around if you don't water it. Excitement and passion and joy and beautiful, you know, relationships and all those sorts of things, they don't last if you don't water them. And you know, this Ace of Wands, as I said, that fell out of my hand and then wanted to come upright. So that is how we actually find our inspiration, is actually through continuing to water the seeds that we have already planted, to continue working on what we've already been building, to continue giving ourselves what it is that we need to keep going, to keep doing this thing. You know, because the moon is going to join in that yod. That is extremely powerful today. I feel like it's actually really, really auspicious. It's really beautiful. It's about love. It's about finding and being in this destined sense of true love. And Venus being so close to Mercury throughout all this, I mean not Venus, and with Lilith being so close to Mercury throughout all this, it's really important that we don't get pulled out of or pulled into this way of thinking that is non-inclusive to the people that we already have sort of in our lives. But what I mean by that is just being overly judgmental or being overly critical of your partner or overly critical of the life that you guys have. Everything just criticizing. It's over criticizing is going to essentially tip the scale, and it's going to have you just feeling fucking gross. Like that, there's no other way to put it. It's going to feel gross. So the thing with the sun's opposition with Neptune, it needs you, like I said, oppositions are a balance, they're a push and pull. So it needs you to understand that in order to have a healthy physical reality, you have to have a healthy spiritual reality. And in order to have a healthy spiritual life, you have to have a healthy physical life. You have to be feeling good. That's why I say health is your wealth. Because if you are feeling good in your body, and if you are feeling, you know, you're getting up and you're doing your runs and you're exercising, you're eating well, you're doing all these Virgo-ass things, those Virgo-ass things actually are what, you know, in my opinion, they create that Taurus sense of having a sense of stability, having a sense of self-worth and value. That's why it's earth sign to earth sign, and earth signs trine each other. Because it's building on value, it's doing the physical work. And see, the reason why it goes Taurus, Virgo, and then Capricorn is because Taurus, you know, provides that stability to keep on maintaining something. And Virgo continues to keep putting the gas in the car every single week. You know, Taurus is the physical car. Virgo, you're putting the gas in the car, you're putting your foot on the pedal, and you're getting to the destination. Virgo is when you've got the gas in the car and you're actually putting your foot on the pedal, and you're starting to drive in the direction of where it is you're trying to go. Capricorn is when you actually get to work and it's time to start doing that shit. You know, it's time to start showing who you are. And so this is a really strong weekend because it's a weekend of understanding who you are and deciding, I think, who you are, because there's a real emphasis on values, a real emphasis. We have 4 of Swords and the 3 of Swords coming out, so that is confirmation that there are going to be breakups this weekend. There are going to be some really tough situations. Some of us, no, I'm not saying you guys, we have judgment in the reverse, so that's another confirmation that overly judging yourself and overly criticizing other people and stuff is going to have you very much in the feels. Cancer energy. It's going to really have an emotional effect on you. Also, I really want to say, you know, the home. So the 3 of Swords and the 4 of Swords. It's definitely a weekend to allow yourself to process the emotions that actually come up, because things are going to come up this weekend, especially with Venus squaring Pluto. There are things in our relationships, there are things to do with money, there are things to do with our appearance, there are things to do with our values and our worth and our friendships. There are things that are going to be coming up this weekend that are asking for us to look at them in order to evolve them. So, you know, don't be judging yourself because you are upset that you're experiencing something again from the past that you thought was over. At the same time, I want to say that there could be people from the past coming back with Magician and the Sun. And when I say coming back, I don't mean they're coming back to like profess their love for you. It might be that they're coming sort of around, or you're just maybe thinking of the past. Past energies are coming up to kind of be healed in a way. I feel like this 3 of Swords and the 4 of Swords is about allowing yourself to, you know, kind of heal from those times. And that's the thing too, maybe past lovers, maybe that's what it is. It's feeling like past lovers, you know, healing from that sort of stuff and finding joy again and creating a new sense of joy, a new sense of love and balance within your life and within your body. And so judgment with the 6 of Cups. Don't get lost in judging yourself because you feel like something was better in the past, maybe something looked better in the past. And I've spoken to this before, but it's really about not judging the past as deciding that it was better than the future that you're currently living. You know, seeing more in the past than you're seeing in your current reality or in your current future. At the moment, reality just is heavy, you know. Sun opposition with Neptune that's in Virgo, while we have Lilith in Virgo conjuncting with Mercury in Virgo. We've just had a lunar eclipse in Pisces. There's a lot going on, okay? There's just a lot going on. We've got the moon conjunct Uranus today, so we're just dealing with some really weird feelings. And also that Lilith is about to square with Jupiter coming Monday. So there's still like there's this tendency I feel that we're trying to overcome, where it's like this self-sabotaging idea, or this this version of us that doesn't want to face the facts and that doesn't want to face reality or what it is that's truly happening in our lives and wants to bury the head in the sand sort of thing. This Four of Swords and the Three of Swords, it's about actually facing what does hurt us, what did hurt us. It's about facing the past as well as the present and using that to define a new future and to move forward in that definition. So my loves, I'm going to leave that reading there. I do hope that you enjoyed this. I love you so much. Please let me know in the comments what is going on with you if you feel like sharing. Do give this video a like if you enjoyed it, because it helps to spread these videos to more astro nerds like you and me. If you want to book a personal tarot or astrology reading with moi, you can do that down below through my link tree. Make sure you check out your channeled song. I would like to thank your angels, your ancestors, your higher self, your spirit guides, and all the beautiful benevolent beings that are surrounding you and I in all moments for allowing me to receive and to deliver this fabulous message to you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and sticking around. I will see you guys in Astro Tea Weekly and in next week's daily horoscopes. I love you guys. Peace out.